Welcome to week 4 from the American Golf Championship Tour here on Sky Sports as we continue our odyssey on one of the most diverse golf tours on the planet. And here's the story so far. During months of free-to-enter qualifying events, over 7,500 players took part in this season's 17 tournament categories at 168 venues across the UK and Ireland. And during this year's coverage, our focus has been on the fortunes of the 252 players that qualified for our 3 grand finals. Week 1, and in the traditional season opener at Gainsborough Golf Club, Lincolnshire, we crowned our first 6 winners at the Junior Championship. 400 players entered this year's 8 qualification events, with 68 juniors going on to the grand final. In the Future Stars division, Ollie McAvoy took the under-8s title and Sam McIntyre claimed the over-8 trophy, alongside the junior category winners, Nathan Newton in the Gross Score Championship, Madeline Smith in the girls tournament, and the big star on the day, the boys and overall champion, MOHUN. Week 2 at the majestic Haythrop Park Resort, Oxfordshire, and it was time for some high-octane action at the American Golf Long Drive Championship, the official UK qualifier for the World Long Drive Finals in the USA. Charles Siao was the first player to book his ticket in the over 45 men's event with some precision power hitting. In the ladies division, 2 potential stars of the sport made the final in their first ever long drive competition. Teenager Elle Gibson took on Scotland's Ilona Stubley. Ilona eventually winning a fantastic shootout with a 307-yard ball in the tiebreaker. And last week, an emotional under 45 men's final also went the distance as Germany's enigmatic Timo Petrasch took on England's most experienced big hitter, Dan Connick. Dan claiming the title for a second time after winning the inaugural American Golf event back in 2015, and boy was he happy to be back on top and off to his 15th World Championship final. So Dan, Charles and Ilona taking their seats on the plane to Oklahoma for a shot at the World Final, and they also joined all of our winners so far this season on the American Golf Championship Tour Honours Board. This week, the tour arrives at the iconic Midlands Ryder Cup venue, the Belfry, as we head into the next phase of the season with 176 grand final qualifiers here to compete across another series of events as we crown new champions every Tuesday evening here on Sky Sports, featuring the inaugural Family Championship on this week's show and then rolling on through an eclectic mix of events to our pre-Christmas season review. After the Family Championship next week, the ladies go into action in their grand final, eagerly anticipated after the success of last year's event. Then it's the turn of the seniors, where we know that alongside some canny golf, pretty much anything can happen. Our commitment to the faster formats remain as we add the fabulously competitive 9-hole individual championship to the tour calendar, followed by a firm favourite, the 9-hole pairs, which has produced some great tournament golf over the last 2 seasons here at the Belfry. And we finish with another exciting new addition on the tour, the Scratch Championship, as a superb field of elite amateurs battle it out over 54 holes for the title. And this is what that group of grand finalists here at the Belfry are playing for. The winners will be part of the American Golf Tournament of Champions at the Heritage Resort in Mauritius. Also coming up on today's show, we'll feature another 2 events with the final of the Par 3 and the Adventure Golf Championships. That's right, the tour featured pretty much everything this year. Plenty of great golf action still to come then, but before we head out to the course for news from round 1 of the Family Championship, let's hear from American Golf Events Manager Matt Bacon about this new addition to the tour calendar.
Yeah, the Family Tournament's a new event on this year's calendar. And the whole idea behind it is to try and get more family together, but on the golf course playing, away from all the hustle and bustle. It's all about getting on the golf course and having fun and enjoying it, and that's what we're all about at American Golf. And if we can capture that, it's great for the game. So what they get at the Belfry is they'll turn up, and again, they're treated like they're a tour player. They have to check in at the tournament hub. There's a leaderboard there for them, there's food put on, the hotel, everything's laid out for them, which is what they deserve. And then coming to the final and then the family coming and supporting, it just brings everybody together. So when we get to the final, it's a match play format. I think match play is more fun. There's no holds barred when it comes to families and being vocal, and it creates a bit more fun and a bit more intensity, in the final, which is great. It's what we're looking for.
And this is the format for the inaugural grand final of the Family Championship. The teams play 27 holes over 2 days, with Stableford scoring off 9/10 of their handicap. And after that qualification phase, the top 4 teams progress to a final day and the 9-hole knockout match play semi-finals and finals. And that's played on the Brabazon. Time now to head to the first tee on the PGA course to hear from some of the teams.
He's my old man, so playing golf with each other is interesting. Yeah, you tried to teach me everything you know, haven't you?
Yeah, and you ignored it.
Yeah.
Well, he gets me through 18 holes most of the time, but if it weren't for him, I wouldn't really be able to play golf that much, that well.
And likewise, what is it like playing golf with your son?
Well, that's an interesting one because when I play with James, I'm his caddy, I'm his psychologist, I'm his golfing partner. I'm pretty much everything really when I play with James.
Well, I'm the baby brother. Alan's a few years older than me. There's 7 of us in the family, and me and Alan's the 2 youngest. So normally we're competing against each other, but obviously today we're paired up to try and do well in the competition. So it should be good.
Father and son combo.
That's correct.
Can you tell me a little bit about your relationship on and off the course?
Well, off the course we work together. We're both self-employed joiners, and well, we spend a lot of time on the course together, really, don't we?
Gosh, you must get on very well.
At times.
Just talk me through your outfits because they're fantastic.
We just decided we're trying our closest to get tartan trousers because obviously we're from Glasgow, and for wearing tartan trousers we may as well get matching everything else.
I think it's great, I love it.
See you tomorrow.
We're very competitive and we both hate losing. So
At least you're on the same team this time.
yeah, but we still want to beat each other.
Ah, I
Still
see.
works like that.
I'm very proud to play alongside him. His golf's now a lot better than mine, so yeah, I'm a proud father these days.
What are your expectations for the tournament?
The top 4 go through to the semi-final, so there's a good chance there to get through maybe, but we're just going to go out and enjoy it.
Really, we just want to do as well as we possibly can and enjoy the few days here because it's a fantastic experience.
What are your expectations for the tournament?
We're going to win it.
Fight and talk. Fight and talk, I like it, I like it. And what would it mean for you to do well and maybe even win the category?
Oh, well, Mauritius is once in a lifetime kind of things. It's that good, so it'd be amazing if we could make it.
We thought this was once in a lifetime, so we're here to enjoy it, and that's the whole point. Serious over the ball, as I said, but we're here to win, but enjoy it with a smile.
And what do you make of the experience so far?
Superb. You know, the quality, the organisation, and you know, places like this, again, it's the challenge. It'll be a really good challenge.
The biggest challenge in round 1 was actually the weather. Rain and wind making it tough for the players. Fortunately though, it was only 9 holes on the PGA course here at the Belfry on the first day. 2 teams came on 18 points. The Charters, Dad Andrew and son Robert, took a little time to settle, but they'll feel they have at least a shot at top 4 with 18 holes still to come tomorrow. The phrase, "we're going to win it," might come back to haunt Ian and James Fox though. Like the Charters, they need a good day on the Brabazon tomorrow and a fair slice of luck to avoid an early exit. On 19 points and still talking, although not necessarily to each other, Liz Wood and husband Michael played some good golf on their way around the PGA course, but just couldn't quite convert that to big points. They certainly have the skills though to feature tomorrow. The Tartan Terrors rugby-playing golfers Dad Kenny and son Zach Davies have one of those nearly but not quite days, and that wrong-shaped ball just wouldn't drop. Definitely not all mouth and trousers on day 1 though. 20 points certainly keeps them in the mix. And 3 teams took a share of second place on the first day with a score of 21 points. Alan and Ian Gandy had great fun playing as a team, putting sibling rivalry aside to become brothers in arms. Father and son team Peter and Chris Simpson underline what the American Golf Tour is all about. Peter dusting off his clubs to get back into golfing action to play in this event, and ultimately to enjoy watching great shots like that from son Chris. Competitive to the last, Dad Peter Stern produced some great touches to make sure he was contributing to the score as much as son Joshua, followed by this absolute picture of pure statue-like concentration. I think he's still there, you know. Joshua also provided some entertainment with this circumnavigating putt to make sure he and Dad will be in the chasing pack tomorrow. But Vic and Aaron MOHUN dominated day one with a fabulous 24 points. Dad Vic finding himself in that pressure position of playing alongside an American Golf winner. Son Aaron casting a critical eye over proceedings after being crowned junior overall champion just weeks ago. The pressure was on Vic all day, but he kept a smile on his face as Aaron stepped up to the mark with a case of, "No, Dad, do it like this." A great score then from the MOHUNs to lead on day one and become the team that everyone will be chasing with 18 holes to play. But it was a good day's golf from all the teams, with every pair at least making a score, and with weather conditions set to be testing again tomorrow as the teams venture out onto the Ryder Cup Brabazon course, it's still a case of anything could happen in that race for a top four finish. Before we get to the action from day two though, it's time to crown our first winners on today's show. So many players entered this year's American Golf Par 3 Championship that 2 tournaments had to be staged at Three Hammers Golf Complex, meaning we were left with 2 winners. So what else to do but invite them to the Belfry to shoot it out for the title.
Paul Stokes, I'm 45 and I'm a member of Oxley Park Golf Club, which is in Wolverhampton. It's a dream come true. Everybody likes playing in finals. I've certainly never experienced anything like this, but if Shaun's better than me on the day, then I've had a great journey. I want to win, obviously, but we'll see what happens.
I'm Shaun Mason, 28, and I play at the Chase Golf Club. Oh, I'd love to win. So obviously, there's a lot of pressure. I'm excited, very nervous at the same time. I'd love to do well today. I've been practicing literally every time I've got a spare hour or a day off from work, so I'd really like to do well today.
And he played well on our specially constructed short course laid out on the Brabazon. Shaun teed off at the 156 yards 7th, one up in this 9-hole match play final. A great shot, but he couldn't finish it and left Paul with this putt to take the match down the 8th. Paul made it and didn't concede, leaving Shaun's partner, 2016 American Golf long drive runner-up Olivia Raybould, with a nervous moment as she watched Shaun. No dramas though, and off they went to the 8th tee. Shaun still one up with 2 to play. Paul though put himself in trouble, going left off the tee, and the door was once again open for his opponent. Shaun took his chance and found the dance floor with another solid shot, followed by another solid fist bump with his dad, part of Shaun's support team alongside partner Olivia. Having chipped back across the green, Paul knew he needed to hold this one to stay in the grand final. It was a great effort, but it didn't drop, and Paul knew he was in trouble. Shaun then with 2 putts for the title. The first putt was class, and that's exactly what Paul showed when he conceded the second putt, giving Shaun the match. A terrific performance from both lads, played in superb spirit. Let's hear from the champion.
There's been ups and downs today, but mainly ups, but it's just been so tough playing the competitor, the course, the conditions, and literally controlling your emotions. But I'm over the moon, really, really happy. Been like practicing for months and months for this, and it's paid off.
Congratulations to Shaun Mason, the American Golf Par 3 champion for 2017, and another name to add to the honours board at the end of today's show. Back to the second day of the Family Championship now, and 18 holes on the Brabazon to find our top 4 qualifiers for the match play semi-finals. Liz and Michael Wood finished their tournament with a 28-point round for 47 points overall. They putted superbly, but just couldn't find a total to see them into the final day. As promised by Scottish father and son pair Kenny and Zach Davies, a new pair of tartan trousers were indeed unveiled for the second day. But unfortunately for the Glaswegian duo, their score kept them and their troons south of the border in terms of the qualification line, which is where Robert and Andrew Charter also finished. Their final total of 53 points left them just 1 point off the semi-finals and heading out of the tournament. And frustratingly for Vic and Aaron MOHUN, they also made an early exit, leading after that first day 24 points, but left to wonder where it all went wrong on the Brabazon. And so to the qualifiers. 54 points was just good enough to propel brothers Ian and Alan Gandy into the top 4 in a final day shot at the title. Their solid no-nonsense golf off handicaps of 15 and 16 kept them in the hunt and will make them dangerous opponents in the match play semis. Through in third place on 57 points, Daddy and Fox and son James confidently predicted that they would be champs in their pre-tournament interview, but looked like chumps at the bottom of the leaderboard on day one. They showed some real character though for a great comeback on the second day to book a semi-final place, courtesy of some play that lived up to Ian's golfing mantra here at the Belfry: keep it in play, and then embarrass your son by doing an exploding fist bump celebration. Dull. On 61 points, second place belonged to Dad Peter Simpson and son Chris, both back to playing the sport they love after a layoff of several years. And the pair, who worked together as joiners, dovetailed well, comedy gold, for a place in the top four. The pair to beat though looked to be Peter and Joshua Stern, another father and son team who played some fantastic golf on day two. Finished off by this brilliant putt at 18 by Josh, taking their final total to 62 points, moving into the semis as the number one seeds. Confirmation then of our final qualification leaderboard in the Family Championship here at the Belfry. We say goodbye to the Woods, Davies, Charters and Mohuns and turn our attention to the final day. The Sterns take on the Gandys and the Simpsons go head to head with the Foxes. Knockout match play semi-final action coming up after the break from the American Golf Family Championship, right here on Sky Sports. Welcome back to the American Golf Family Championship here at the Belfry. Match play semi-final action and news coming up. But first, let's hear from Joe Folker from the event sponsor.
Well, at Cobra Puma Golf, one of our key values is all about increasing participation through game enjoyment. So the Family Championship was a great opportunity for us to link that with obviously people playing, enjoying themselves and having fun. Yeah, I think golf's a very unique sport in terms of the ability to play with people of different ages, different abilities. You can have a fair game. It's a fantastic venue for the finals. It's steeped in history of all the Ryder Cup matches. Everyone knows the sort of the signature hole, so it's a brilliant place to be. Go out there, have some fun, enjoy the Belfry. You've got a fantastic course, and we look forward to awarding the prizes to the winners.
4 pairs left standing then in the Family Championship as we go into the final day of competition, and it's 9-hole match play all the way, starting with the semi-finals on the front nine of the Brabazon, with the winners carrying on to the back nine for a shot at the title. Number 1 seeds, father and son team the Sterns, take on number 4 seeds the Gandy brothers in semi-final 1, and Gemma Kerr is with the teams, starting with Dad Peter and son Josh.
How does it feel to have got this far?
Yeah, it's great. We played pretty good over the first 2 days. No, we're pretty happy and good to go today.
And thoughts ahead of the semi-finals?
We're just going to continue to do the same, keep shooting at those flags and keep making sure we make some putts out there.
And have you got any thoughts on the competition?
Just beat them. That's all we're worried about.
Fighting talk, I like it. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Do you feel ready? What preparations have you made for today?
Early night last night. We were in bed 9 o'clock last night and up bright and early this morning, so yeah, we're ready.
And you're about to step up to the tee, so just tell me what's going through your mind.
Yeah, a little bit nervous, but I think that's a good thing really. So like I say, we didn't play great yesterday, so hopefully a better day today. So yeah, it should be good.
All right, best of luck, play well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so our first interesting semi-final matchup got underway on the front nine of the Brabazon, with 4-handicapper Josh Stern and 7-handicapper Dad Peter under no illusion what they needed to do to beat the Gandy brothers, playing off 15 and 16. The Sterns needed birdies to compete against a team that will be getting a shot on most of the holes. The first chance came to Josh at the 369-yard par 4 opening hole. A good drive, nice approach and a long putt for birdie. It was a superb effort, but it didn't drop, and the script for the match was already obvious. For every Stern putt missed, the Gandys would have one to take the hole. And Ian took his chance well. Alan and Ian Gandy going one up early doors, the Sterns already chasing the match. On the 321-yard par 4 second, Alan Gandy was taking nearly as long a look at Peter Stern's 8-foot putt to win the hole as Peter did. In the end, it was a brutal lip out to half the second. Plenty of holes left to still turn things around, but a chance not taken by the Sterns. Hole 3 and the majestic 501-yard par 5 finishing across the water to the green. The lowest handicapper in the match, Joshua Stern, took it on and found the dance floor with a nice approach. Again though, the Gandys were able to use the shot they had at this hole, and this tidy approach from Alan, effectively meaning both he and Josh were on the green and equal. 2 long putts followed and both men finished about the same distance from the hole. We were definitely in match play territory now, and when Alan drained that one, it was time for the mind games to start. The Gandys deciding to concede both the Stearns' potentially tricky 2-footers to half the hole and march off to the 4th tee, still 1 up. More water just in front of the green at 4 to negotiate. The Gandys thinking clearly under pressure though and making the tactical plays count. This time Ian laying up and chipping on to virtually handcuff the Stearns once again. But Ian, you're going to have to get some sunglasses for Mauritius, mate. The future though was looking bright for the Gandys with this putt to go 2 up. But it wasn't to be. So Alan and Ian decided that now was the right time to ask the Stearns to hold a short one for a half. And Peter was up to the test. Heading down 5, and it was time for Droitwich Golf Club's very own Steven Seagal lookalike Alan Gandy to find his Sunday best from the fairway with this exquisite approach. Good enough for another half to stay 1 up. More blue stuff running down the whole left side of the 385-yard par 4 6th hole. Didn't collect any balls though, as the Stearns and Gandys continued to battle it out. Another outside chance for Ian to make it 2 up, but a painful miss for brother Alan to watch, leaving this tough putt for Josh to save the hole. And like dad Peter at 5, he was up to the test, and off they marched to the par 3 7th. The Gandys' lead still intact, but still only 1 up. With the pin never under threat, Super Josh was once again called into action. A great chip back to the flag, but the quality of the Brabazon greens meant the ball ran past the hole, leaving a smelly one back. Another potentially game-changing putt, this to square the match. But it stayed above ground and the golfing gods definitely weren't smiling on the Stearns. The Gandys then still 1 up with 2 to play. More water at the 409-yard par 4 8th was safely negotiated by Peter Stearn, and a great approach followed to set up another hole-winning chance. The expectation was great. The body language didn't look too good though. But you know what they say, cometh the pressure putt, cometh the man. And Peter stepped up to the plate to level the match, all square, going down the last. And it was Peter in the spotlight again at 9, looking to make this monster putt to put 1 foot in the final. But in reality, he would need to make that one to take the tie down the first playoff hole. If that is, Alan didn't hole this one. A great putt to provide some insurance for the Gandy boys and to ask another tough match play question of Peter Stearn. Well, it's you again, I'm afraid, Peter, old son. And this is a tough putt. Coming across the slope, he's got no option but to hit it hard. No, past it goes. The Stearns concede the putt, and the Gandys have done it. They are through here at the Belfry. Confirmation then of that result in semi-final 1. We've lost the top seeds. Peter and Josh Stearn are out, and Alan and Ian Gandy go through, winning 1 up. And they'll meet the winners of semi-final 2, the Simpsons versus the Foxes, in another front 9 match play battle. Let's meet the players. They're speaking to Gemma Kerr.
You're about to step up to the tee, so how are you feeling? What's going through your mind?
A little bit nervous, excited, just hoping the game stays together, but we'll see.
My expectations? Coming back with the same amount of balls.
Sounds good to me. Play well.
To be honest, we were hoping to get this far, but after the first day we didn't really think it was going to be possible, but we pulled it back yesterday, so it was all right, we're good.
And can you just tell me what's going through your mind? You're about to step up to the tee.
Yeah, quite excited, a bit pensive, but we're ready for it. Early night last night, not much sleep. Woke up at about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 5:30, so we're quite excited, yeah.
And what's the game plan?
Keep it in play again.
Yeah, same thing basically.
And so began one heck of a shootout. The golf was steady, the balls were kept in play, and through the first 4 holes, honours remained even. All square heading down 5, where Chris Simpson, I kid you not, had the first genuine opportunity to put he and Dad Peter 1 up. No deal, and the Foxes handed their first lifeline of the match. In fact, the two teams remained locked at all square through the front nine, so back around they went for a playoff to try and find a winner. This time though, it was sudden death. Back around the front nine then until we've got a winner. And Ian Fox with his approach into the first, just going away off the back of the green. Peter Simpson is just short and left, but not in the bunker. The two sons, Chris and James, out of this hole, so it's a good old-fashioned shootout between the dads, and this is a brave shot to go with the putter from here. Oh, clever. Beautifully done. Still runs on past though, and he was having a good look at that ball as it went past the hole. He's a very accurate putter, is Peter, and the Simpsons will still fancy their chances. Good chip required then from Ian Fox. And I'm sorry to say, Ian, that's not a good chip. That was a very, very nervy one. And as the pressure starts to build, the rain starts to lash down again, and this is a bit of a penalty shootout here, really. But Ian Fox doesn't score. Ball flies by, and that effectively means, for Peter Simpson, massive putt. Probably the biggest putt of Peter Simpson's golf career. And it stays above ground. The follow-up putt conceded, and the equation in the driving rain here at the Belfry for the Foxes is pretty straightforward. If Ian holds this, they're in the final. If he misses, we carry on to the second tee. In it goes, and the Foxes are through to the final. Ian and James Fox then get it done on the first playoff hole, through to the match play final on the back nine of the Brabazon to meet the Gandy brothers, Alan and Ian, for the right to step on that plane to Mauritius. The Simpsons and the Stearns will battle it out for third place. We'll have action from the final coming up later on the show, and having already crowned the par 3 champion this week, after the break we'll have 2 more titles up for grabs, with the highlights from the inaugural Adventure Golf Championship Grand Final played here on the Belfry's own course, followed by action from the American Golf Family Championship Final right here on Sky Sports. Stay with us. Welcome back to the American Golf Family Championship. The lineup for the final is decided. The Gandy brothers will take on the father and son duo Ian and James Fox here at the Belfry. Highlights from that final coming up shortly, but first let's crown some more winners. Hundreds of players entered the brand new Adventure Golf Championship qualifiers at 6 venues across the UK, and 12 pairs made the grand final to compete for the inaugural American Golf title.
We saw the advert on American Golf for this tournament, so we thought we'd have a go for a laugh. So we went to Watford Golf Club and had a little round there and ended up here.
It was Anne's idea that we came to the Beckenham Adventure Golf Playground and had a round there. So we went for a practice round, and then we did the real thing.
This is my son, he's 4 years old, and we qualified in American Golf in Glasgow.
We had a go at the Watford Top Golf Centre. Didn't think anything of it, and then we got an email saying, oh, you've qualified for the finals.
We just happened to come across this competition and thought we'd give it a go, see what happens, and we won our regional, and here we are today, so see how it goes.
Gracing the tournament was Adventure Golf royalty, Richard GOTTFRIED, a man on an epic mini-golf mission.
The aim is to visit every crazy golf course in the country, so this is the 768th, but when I started back in 2006 there were only 600, so I kind of smashed that and just kept on rolling, just keeps on going.
Now tell me, how does this course compare to a lot of the other ones that you've played at?
Well, it's unique. I haven't played a course like it before. The holes are really different. There's a couple of really, really tricky holes, but I'm looking forward to the challenge it's going to present, so we'll see how it goes.
The Adventure Golf Championship is a pairs event played on the Belfry Ryder Legends mini golf course. Its 12 challenging holes modelled on famous Ryder Cup moments proved a serious test for our diverse group of grand final contenders.
We are literally very, very, very competitive, and he kind of brought us here today with his good putting.
Yeah, high expectations really. We came a couple of weeks ago on the bank holiday, spent a few hours here, so we know really what it's all about, so fingers crossed we'll do well.
It's a foursomes tournament, so the players use one ball and take alternate shots, with 2 prelim rounds to decide which 4 teams go through to the match play semi-finals. And after 2 rounds, these were the top 4 pairs. The first semi-final spot went to brothers Jack and James Wilson, who got around the 24 holes in 78 shots. In third place were father and son teams Simon and Jake Whitby on 73. With a score of 69, Richard Gottfried and Peter Jones finished in second place on the prelim leaderboard. But the number 1 seeds into the semi-finals with an economic 63 were Simon Lee and Stephen GERRISH. In the first semi-final, it was a case of youth versus experience as teenagers Jack and James Wilson took on the top seeds, Simon and Stephen. And it went down to the wire until a wayward putt opened the door for Stephen to finish in style, leaving James a difficult putt from off the course to stay in the tournament. But it wasn't to be, so disappointment then for the Wilson brothers, GERRISH and Lee through to the big show at the Belfry.
It was a bit tight at the end. We didn't feel we played that well. We went 1 up quite early on and then kind of stuck around for a while, and they pegged us back, and they're a good bunch of boys actually, really competitive. Luckily this man drains a massive putt on the last. The boys get a bit of an unlucky break, but end of the day that's golf and we're through to the finals. We can be happier.
And a similarly tight match in the second semi-final ended with Simon and Jake Whitby versus Richard Gottfried and Peter Jones, all square heading down the last. Until Richard's battling putt dashed the dreams of the Whitbys in a dramatic finish.
Seriously, he played fantastic. He got hole-in-one, left it a bit short on the last, so hopefully won't do that again, but that was fantastic fun. That was really good.
Time then to introduce our Adventure Golf finalists. From the Midlands Mini Golf Club, Richard Gottfried and Peter Jones. Taking on Simon Lee from Cotswold Hills Golf Club and Stephen GERRISH from the Bristol Golf Centre. Gottfried and Jones got off to the best possible start, going 1 up at the first. Simon Lee then squared the match at the second with a terrific putt.
Come on, come on.
At the third, with their opponents in the water, Peter Jones had this putt to go 1 up again. And he drained it. At hole 4, it was Gottfried and Jones who went into the water, and the match was back to all square. Then GERRISH and Lee took the lead with a par at 5, and the momentum was totally with Stephen and Simon after this fantastic ace at 6. Our first hole-in-one of the Championship Tour season. The West Country boys going 2 up at the halfway point. At 7, a great shot from Stephen left teammate Simon a tap-in to put them 3 up with 5 to play. And if you ever needed any convincing of just how focused the players were on becoming the first Adventure Golf champions, just take a look at this total concentration. Job done. Simon and Stephen marched on to the 8th tee, 3 up. A half at 8 was followed by an emotional save from the bunker at 9. As Simon ensured the team would head to the 10th, Dormy 3 up. Just 3 holes left then, and Richard Gottfried knew that he and Peter Jones had to win all of them. Peter gave it his best shot, going so close to his second hole-in-one of the day, but leaving the door open for their opponents to take the title as the ball slid by. Stephen GERRISH then with a putt to make history.
Yes.
And the inaugural Adventure Golf title was theirs with a 3-2 victory. Congratulations to Stephen and Simon on a fantastic win. Let's hear from our champions.
Couldn't really be happier. It was a really tight final. The boys pushed us quite a long way, but 3-2 victory, can't really complain. Played some good shots, played some bad shots, but I'm quite happy I hold that really long putt. Just nice to get the W, really, isn't it?
Brilliant, it's steeped in tradition with the Ryder Cup, and it's nice to be alongside the great names.
The kind of thing kids dream about, really, winning here, isn't it?
And so the Adventure Golf story begins on the Championship Tour. Stephen GERRISH and Simon Lee will take their place on the honours board later in the show. Back to the American Golf Family Championship now, and it's finals time. The Simpsons take on the Sterns in the third-fourth playoff, but we'll be focusing on the final. Ian and James Fox versus Alan and Ian Gandy on the back nine of the Brabazon for the title and that ticket to the Tournament of Champions in Mauritius. All to play for then. Gemma Kerr is with the finalists.
You are finalists. How does that sound?
That sounds great, yeah. It sounds what we set out to do.
And what do you make of your opponents?
Well, I think we shared dinner with them last night and the night before. Nice guys, so I'm sure it'll be played in good spirit. I don't know what they're like from a golfing point of view, but they've reached the final, so they must be good.
All right, well, best of luck. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, cheers.
We are playing reasonably well at the minute, so I think we've probably got every chance, really.
9-hole tournament's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good format. Yeah, it's great.
And have you had a chance to think about what it might be like to win?
Yeah, it'd be great. I mean, it's been brilliant. We've had a great weekend anyway, so the old cliche, we've had a lovely time, but yeah, now we're in the final, we need to go and win it.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Away we go then, and no thoughts of driving the green Seve style at the 10th. All the players laid up to go pin hunting, and 8 handicapper Ian Fox found some magic to set up a hole-winning chance, leaving the Gandys both with a shot at this hole, scrambling for a half. But Alan, who had the best chance, couldn't sink the putt and knew that heading to the 11th tee at 1 down was a real possibility. But it's amazing how quickly golf can turn the tables. 1 second you're putting for the lead, the very next you're wandering across the green to consider the smelly one you've just left yourself. Now it was Ian Fox scrambling for a half. But he held his nerve to keep the match all square heading to the 11th tee. More action from the American Golf Family Championship final coming up after the break, right here on Sky Sports. Welcome back to the Belfry. The American Golf Family Championship final is underway and the teams are out on the back nine of the Brabazon. They halved the 10th, so it's all square as we get back to the action at hole 11. It was always going to be an intriguing matchup in the final. Brothers Alan and Ian Gandy, off handicaps of 15 and 16, knew they had shots to play with when it came to 8 handicapper Ian Fox. But Ian's son James, the least experienced of the finalists and playing off 26, meant that in reality the Gandys had to keep hitting the greens to ensure against the 15-year-old James, making his shots count. At 11, Ian Gandy's excellent approach was countered by a chip from James Fox that put pressure right back on Ian's par putt. And he knew as soon as he missed it that the Foxes had their second chance in 2 holes to go 1 up. He's done just about everything right at the 11th, James Fox. And now he has this putt to put he and Dad Ian into the lead in this Match Play Family Championship final. And he's done it. Rattles it into the back of the hole. And that was certainly worth the congratulations from his dad. Might be a pat on the back here as well. There you go. Well done, son. So the first move made and the Foxes go 1 up. At the 179-yard par 3 12th, the dramatic sky signalled a nasty weather front moving in over the Belfry. But that didn't deter Ian Gandy from finding the green with a terrific tee shot. James Fox was once again in the best position to come to his team's rescue, but it would need a brave shot from just off the back of the green, negotiating some serious terrain, most of which was running downhill back towards the water on these slick Belfry greens. But what a shot he found. His contribution to his team's effort in this final so far had been amazing. Well, just like at 11, a chip from James has put this putt under pressure and the heavens have opened here at the Belfry as Ian Gandy tries to slide this one down the hill. No, little too tentative, I'm afraid. Just seemed to back off that putt and just backed off picking that up there. Well done. Just check in with James that that putt was conceded. And James looks like he wants to get on with this. A putt for a half, and it's a valuable half. A case of putt and run with this rain lashing down. And the boys sprinting for cover. The Foxes on the run, but still 1 up. Fortunately, the rain relented as Alan Gandy came to the party at 13 with a bit of target practice. The Fox response was instant though, this time from James's dad Ian. Not a hole-winning shot by any means, but chipping dead to completely kill off any chance the Gandys might have had to level the match. At 14, another par 3, James once again threw down the gauntlet and punched the ball to the lower tier of the green, the only player to hit the dance floor. No doubt about it, the teenager leading the way. Then he and his dad started hunting as a pair, Ian providing the first part of what he hoped would be an insurance policy with this solid chip. Ian Gandy stranded in the bunker, so the onus was on brother Alan to find a way out of the wet sand. Under the circumstances, he produced a stunning shot, but it didn't drop. Once again, James Fox had a shot in hand, so 2 from here to win the hole, with the backup of having Dad close for a half. Don't you just love it when a plan comes together? Well, the Foxes did, but the Gandys weren't quite so thrilled. Now, to take the pressure off his boy, and in it went. Great golf psychology. We got the half, son, so relax and see what you can do. Clever, clever golf from the Foxes. Now, he might only be 15, this might be his first big final. But I tell you what, he's got what it takes. Great putt from James Fox, seemingly without a care in the world, and he and his dad into a very good lead. At last, a cushion for the Foxes, 2 up with 4 to play, and following a lengthy but perfectly friendly discussion about handicaps and shots at 15, the Gandys reluctantly agreed that they were getting further and further up a creek without much sign of a paddle. Ian and James Fox, they've been tactically very canny today. Oh, it's another cracking putt, so that's a half guaranteed. Now, what are they going to do here? Ian just confirming with James that his putt can't influence the situation here, so pick your ball up, son. Hello, hello. And the smiling assassins have politely invited Alan Gandy to hole this one for the half. Invitation accepted, cracking putt. And the Gandys take it to the 16th, but it's not looking great for them. Foxes, though, looking good shape, 2 up and 3 to play, and the Gandys knew that something special had to happen, and that special thing needed to be that shot dropping for Ian to give them any chance in this final, and the end was undeniably nigh. 26 handicapper James Fox playing in front of the TV cameras in a big final today, and he's held his nerve beautifully. He's already won 2 holes for his team, and I think he's just won the final. Reluctant agreement then from the Gandys that the game was up and the dream was over. The Foxes take the match 3-2 to claim the American Golf Family Championship and book their place at the Tournament of Champions. The Simpsons then beat the Stearns by the same margin to take 3rd place, but it's Ian and James Fox who take top honours here at the Belfry to pick up their trophies from Dan Gathercole of American Golf and Joe Folker of event sponsor Cobra Puma Golf. Gemma Kerr spoke to the winners.
When we go out on the golf course, I mean, he comes in from school, I come in from work. We pass it like chips in the night. We spend 3 and 4 hours together. We talk absolute rubbish on the golf course, but it's all about family. Yeah, it's great.
You are obviously now the champions, so how does that feel?
Oh, that feels fantastic. Yeah, I said we were going to win. I wasn't quite as sure. It was putting a brave face on, but yeah, we're happy. Yeah, really good.
You are both off to Mauritius.
Unreal experience. A bit shocked, to be honest. Wasn't really expecting it, but I'm glad we have and worked well as a team. It was good.
Yeah, we played well as a team today. Really, really good. And we've got a bit of a problem now. All my Facebook pals want to caddy for us as well, so I'm going to have to put a lottery on.
It's one of those moments in sport when you can actually say it doesn't get better than this. The title, the trophies, jetting off to Mauritius and not forgetting that coveted place on the Championship Tour Honours Board. 4 events down and 12 sets of champions crowned so far, and we move on. Next week at the Belfry, the Ladies' Championship takes centre stage for an eagerly anticipated second time after last year's successful tour debut. But that's all for this week's show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week for more action from the American Golf Championship Tour here on Sky Sports.